Steve Weedor, assistant basketball coach, is in for Joe Foley tonight. And Coach, it was a good road trip to UT Martin Saturday. A nice win there. It was a nice win before we hit the road to go to UT Martin over Morehead State, 61-46 on Thursday, and then the win against UT Martin, 53-49. Built ourselves a nice lead before UT Martin came back in the fourth quarter, outscoring us 19-14, but still Little Rock able to hold on. But let's dive into this game against Morehead State first. And it was a good game, and Coach Foley, as he doesn't play many players right now. He's got that rotation down to about 6 or 7 ladies that he's going to put on the floor.
Right. I think, this time of the year, dial it in a little bit tighter, and that's what he's done. Now, we've got some young ladies that, I think are ready, if they're called upon. But, when you get in conference and deep in the conference season, it's usually a 6, 7, 8-man rotation most of the time.
Well, and Nikki Metcalf didn't play a whole lot in that game, 1:32, but she kept a streak alive in the game against Morehead State. Their head coach, Coach Petrie, decided that she wasn't happy with the officiating. She got a technical foul, and the next thing you know, I knew who was coming in. I think you all know who's coming in now on the bench to shoot those. It's Nikki Metcalf. She is 19 of 19 on the season at the free throw line, a perfect 100%.
Exactly, and that's that's pretty hard to do. Coming off the bench, not even being out on the floor, and having to come in and shoot 2 free throws, and she was able to knock them both down. And it's not the first time that she's done it for us this year. I think there was another game where we had a technical foul, and she
that was the game at who was it? Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee
At our
Tech.
press.
She came in and knocked them both down, but we're just right now you're in the heat of the conference battle and trying to improve every week, and that was Kids Day on Thursday, so there was a lot
Over
of
2,000
screaming and
kids in
yelling
there,
in the stadium that day, and we enjoyed a big win, and like you said, just going down to UT Martin on Saturday and getting a road win and just taking them one at a time right now.
Let's talk about UT Martin and Saturday, what happened there. Not only did Little Rock win, but a game that was played in Edwardsville, Illinois, had a lot of implications into what happened in Martin as well. Little Rock wins in Martin. They improved to 13-1 in conference play. SIUE, that's Southern Illinois University Edwardsville, was playing Eastern Illinois. Eastern Illinois was 13-0 going into that game. SIUE beat them. So now Eastern Illinois and Little Rock are both tied on top of the conference standings at 13-1. So Little Rock controls their own destiny, as does Eastern Illinois. And oh, by the way, the Panthers are coming to the Jack Stevens Center on Saturday.
Exactly. We got one more shot at them. We went to their place and they got us the first time. So I think that'll be a big game on Saturday. But like I said, Trey, we got Southern Indiana on Thursday, and that's really what we're focused on right now is Thursday night, and then we'll move on to Saturday after that game.
Well, it's Thursday. You talk about Southern Indiana, a team that Little Rock was able to beat in Evansville earlier this season, a 47-44 win for Little Rock, and that one a little bit closer than what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was really tight coming down the stretch there, and we were able to pull it out. So, I think our girls know they're in for a big battle on Thursday.
What does it say about Little Rock being able to win these close games? You won a close one there. You beat UT Martin 53-49. There have been some blowouts this season, but there have been some close games as well. At Tennessee Tech, you win it basically on a last-second shot by Sally Korma, and she goes to the free throw line. Little Rock wins 66-63. You open Ohio Valley Conference play on a 3-point buzzer beater by Tia Harvey, and you needed all 3 of those points to win that game back in December the 29th. And Little Rock's won it close, and they've blown some teams out as well.
Well, I think the key, Trey, is getting stops on the defensive end. If you give yourself a chance and you're able to make plays on the defensive end and keep the teams from doing what they want to do, it'll give you an opportunity to win games. And Saturday against Tennessee Martin, we made some mistakes, turned it over way too much, but our girls really, really did a good job on the defensive end and kept us in the game, and we were able to pull out the win.
Well, and I can tell you that right now, looking at the statistics, Little Rock is only giving up, average-wise, 52.5 points per game. Joe Foley is known for his motion offense and his man-to-man defense. And if you don't play defense, you're not going to play on the offensive end of the court. And one player that I would like to highlight is Sally Korma. I think she has really stepped up her defensive play this season.
Yeah, she's been a lot better this year. I think that, Sally's just, and most of the time, it takes a couple of years to figure out Coach Foley's defense. It's not as easy as a lot of places, and you have to learn different techniques and things, but I think she's catching on and coming around really well on the defensive end, and we know she can play on the offensive end.
We're about to hit the break. Little Rock in the national rankings defensively, 6th in scoring defense in the nation, 15th in three-point defense, 19th in field goal defense, 57th in turnover margin. That's with over 300 schools. That's where they rank in the nation. We'll be back with more with Steve Weedor. I'm Trey Schapp. Back to Dugan's Pub after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to the corner of 3rd and Rock and Dugan's Pub. Little Rock Trojan basketball brought to you by UAMS Health. They are proud to be the medical provider for the Little Rock Trojans and fans across the great state of Arkansas. Steve Weedor sitting in for Joe Foley, the head coach of your Little Rock women's basketball team. Darryl Walker will be along at the bottom of the hour. I am Trey Schapp. Coach, one thing that back to Sally Korma and what she's been able to do and the defense that Coach Foley deploys at times. I believe only one time this year in conference play has a team scored more than 60 points against us, and I think 3 times teams have scored more than 50 points against us. And so that goes back, and that's in conference play. But I think it goes to the toughness of the non-conference schedule and what they're put up against to get them ready for conference play. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that really helps, Trey. I think just, playing the competition we do in the non-conference and, exposing these girls to a lot of talent and teams across the country that, they have to step it up. When we get to conference play, they're able to, get a feel of the competition, and I think we've done a really good job this year of, locking into the scouting reports and learning what the team's going to do. And Coach Foley does a great job with fundamentals, and it carries over into the games. And as long as they lock in and learn, the different things that the teams do in our conference, they're going to be able to stop people.
Coach Foley loves practice. He absolutely loves practice. If he could practice and not even have to worry about playing the games, I think he'd be a happy guy. He might do it 10, 15 more years.
Yeah.
But it's the game and leading up to the game and everything, and having to deal with this and that. And I know the last couple of years with COVID have been tough on him, and it's been tough on everybody. But I think he's having a lot of fun with this basketball team. You are as close to him as anybody. Do you sense that as well, how much fun he's having with this squad this year?
Yeah, he really is. This has been a great group. They work hard, and like you said a while ago, Trey, they're giving themselves an opportunity here. And Coach Foley's, he's coaching them hard, just like it was his first year when we got here. And I think the girls are responding well. And like you said, we control our own destiny right now. With 4 games left, they've got a lot to play for.
Well, and the good thing is these next 2 are at home.
Yeah.
And so you're playing 2 teams, one that you split the road trip to Southern Indiana and Eastern Illinois. You split that road trip, and so you've got a chance to get Eastern Illinois back. You've got a chance to beat Southern Indiana for a second straight time this season. And I was looking at their stats, and one of their key players was averaging about 15 points a game when we went there to their place. We held her to 5.
Right.
And so that
33.
You got to give credit to Angelique Francis and what she's been able to do with some of the other team's tallest and best inside player. Angelique is not the tallest player, but she knows how to play defense, and she is so physical.
Yeah,
and I don't think teams are ready for that.
And Angelique, like you said, the scouting reports on girls, she learns what their strengths are, and she tries to take those away, and that's exactly what we did, with that young lady at their place. But she'll have her hands full coming in here because Southern Indiana, come in here and they're needing to win. getting to the end of the conference season, and they're still fighting for a chance to play in the tournament, and our girls are going to have to come out here and be ready.
Yeah, you have to be ready every time you step on the floor. Southern Indiana 5-9 in conference play. They are tied with Tennessee State and Morehead State for, let's see, that would be 7th place. But you could, by virtue of tiebreakers, end up in the 9th place, and you don't make the conference tournament. Only the top 8 make the conference tournament. The other good thing with us winning on Saturday is Tennessee Tech lost. And so that guaranteed Little Rock, if the unfortunate thing happens and we lose the next 4 games, we know we are not going to play until Friday. We have locked up no worse than the 2 seed in the conference tournament.
Oh, and that's a good, that's a good feeling to be able to know that you're already automatic qualified to the semifinals. And I think our girls need to, now just focus on these last 4 games and keep working and keep getting better, and then you have an opportunity in the tournament, because that's where it all comes down to is winning that tournament. That's our ultimate goal for the year, and that's what we want to do, and we're giving ourselves a chance by getting that bye all the way to the semifinal.
Every team has to have a coach that is the consoler, the one that pats you on the back and says it's going to be okay. I think that's you with this team. When Coach Foley gets on them, the next person they see coming down the bench is you. So you hear what Coach Foley says to them, and then you got to kind of try and make it all better real fast, don't you?
Yeah, good cop, bad cop. We've been that way for 18 years, I guess, since I've been here, and I've sort of learned that I gotta help those girls when things are not going that way.
No doubt about it. I see it all the time. It's magical to watch. We'll be back with more. He's Steve Weedor. I'm Trey Schapp. Stay with us. Welcome back to Dugan's Pub here at the corner of 3rd and Rock. It's the Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show. I'm Trey Schapp, joined by assistant women's basketball coach Steve Weedor. For over 65 years, Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield has helped Arkansas residents. Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield live fearless. We want to thank Game Time Wraps for their sponsorship of Little Rock Trojan Athletics as well. Coach, good cop, bad cop. Has Coach Foley ever said anything to where you're like, yep, you deserved it? That's what you got to do. You deserve that butt chewing as you were coming down here, or is it always, don't worry about it, it's going to be okay, that's just how he is?
No, I think there's sometimes they do that we've talked about it, that they deserve it pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, they know it, but a lot of times, I got to try to make them feel better. I got to try to make them understand that everybody's been through some of the things that they've been through, and when you can do that, they'll pick their heads up a little bit and be ready for the next play.
How much do you guys talk on the bench, you and Coach Brazel and Coach Cash and Coach Foley throughout the game?
Well, we talk quite a bit. I mean, Coach Foley doesn't say a whole lot, once we get to the games. I mean, he does most of his talking in the practice, but we'll talk about different situations, what we're seeing, and things like that amongst ourselves, and it's good communication.
I've noticed you've been a little more vocal this year, getting up and yelling at times, calling out something, and maybe it's because the game it was your scout, and so you see something that's coming and you want to let them know. But you and Coach Bobby, y'all got free reign to kind of talk and do what you need to do, right?
Right. We try to, especially if we know what their calls are and things like that, I try to help the girls out as much as I can and let them know what's coming.
Non-conference scheduling, that's one of your duties as well, and this year it included 5 Power 5 schools: Ole Miss, Arkansas, Auburn, Texas A&M, Alabama. Oh, let's just play the SEC West, why don't we? Arkansas was in the Jack Stevens Center. Ole Miss was in the Jack Stevens Center. Texas A&M beat them in the Jack Stevens Center, 42-38 this year. So yeah, Texas A&M only scored 38 points against us inside the Jack Stevens Center. The other games, we're not going to talk about those. They were good games just to play. But next year, still going to play some tough non-conference opponents.
Yeah, we're working on, trying to get all the schedule for next year finalized. But, as of right now, I've got 5 more SEC teams lined up. I think this year we're losing A&M. It was our last year of the contract. And, of course, Coach Blair's not there anymore. And that was a big deal with him being there. Us, him and Coach Foley are good friends, so we were going to play them, but now we'll probably lose them off the schedule, and I think we're going to add Kansas State back to the schedule next year. And looking at Murray State, another school that was in the Ohio Valley Conference, we're probably going to add them next year to our non-conference schedule. And also looking at a tournament in New Orleans at Tulane right before the Christmas break. Is one of the games that I'm looking at right now.
How about that? That'll be fun. Go down to New Orleans for a little bit. Eat some oysters if that's what you like to eat, or crawfish, whatever you want to get. Some etouffee as well. I know that there's going to be a big announcement tomorrow involving Little Rock women's basketball and a future game time for this season. I can't say anything right now. You and I know it, but pay attention to Little Rock social media tomorrow. I believe it's going to be around 11 o'clock is when that release will come out, but there will be some important information about a future game. It's not this week, it's next week, but there will be some information about a future game that Little Rock will play, and we'll just say that. The other big thing I want to bring up, and I'm glad Coach Foley isn't here because we can talk about this. He won as a collegiate head coach his 849th win on Saturday at UT Martin. That means that Thursday against Southern Indiana, Coach Foley is coaching for career win number 850. That just doesn't happen overnight, Coach.
That's crazy. I mean, that's a lot of wins, and Coach Foley definitely one of the hardest working coaches I've ever been around, and he's deserved every one of them. And it's just it's just a tribute to him and his work ethic and what he's done, and I think that hopefully we'll get it done on Thursday, get that 850.
I hope so, because I remember my first year of doing Little Rock basketball, and I remember number 700. You were coaching your daughters at Russellville then, but number 700 came to the NCAA tournament against Texas A&M. Number 800 came on the road in South Alabama a couple of years ago. It would be nice for him to have one of these milestone victories come inside of the Jack Stevens Center on his own court that is named after him now. And Thursday night could be it.
That'd be awesome.
What's it going to take? I mean, what's it going to take against Southern Indiana?
Well, they really pound the ball inside. Like you mentioned, 33 is one of their leading scorers, and they really look high-low a lot for their post players. And then they've got a couple of shooters that can really shoot the three. And we let them get back in the game last, when we were at their place. We had them down a little bit and let them sneak back in. But I think we'll just have to, make sure that we, not stop them from, pounding it in the post on us and not let them get off those 3 pointers. We'll be okay.
5 o'clock tip on Thursday, and then Saturday. It's going to be Senior Day. Hard to imagine it. Senior Day is already here when Little Rock takes on Eastern Illinois. You got a couple of graduate seniors on the team, and Nikki Metcalf. You got a senior in Angelique Francis. She still has eligibility if she decides she wants to come back for another season because of the COVID rules. She could do that, but we're going to honor the seniors on Saturday before Eastern Illinois, or after the game, I believe.
Right. I think it will be after. But yeah, I mean, once conference season starts, it just seems like it goes by super fast. You start getting in those 2 games a week, Thursday, Saturday. It just really goes by quick. But looking forward to these last 2 home games this week, and hopefully the crowd will show up and we can have a couple of chances to get 2 big wins.
And it might be nice to not only have a senior festive day on Saturday, but it might be nice to also celebrate Coach Foley and 850 wins as well. And it would be nice to do it with a win over Eastern Illinois and take sole possession of first place in the conference standings.
Right. We hope that's 851. We hope we get the 850 Thursday, and then we'll. We're going to look at that game first, and then we'll be ready for, playing for that first place slot.
Coach Foley taught you well. I mean, the coach speak up here is just miraculous, because here I am trying to look forward every week. I've got to talk about 2 games, and Coach Foley's just laser focused on the next game at hand. Southern Indiana. It's the Screaming Eagles. Southern Indiana. Come on, we got to look towards Eastern Illinois too a little bit. A great player in Washington that we have to be aware of at all
Very good
times.
player, but you know the way we try to do things is we're scouting. Right
Who's
now,
your
Southern
scout?
Indiana. I've got Eastern Illinois, but you know I don't even talk to Coach Foley about Eastern Illinois. We might mention a few things, but I mean right now we're focused on Southern Indiana, and that's the way it is week to week. And then as soon as that game's over with, we'll go in there and meet, and we'll start working on Eastern Illinois. But right now we're looking for Thursday night.
I can attest. I mean, I see it every year. That's the way it is. That's the way it has been. That's the way it will be. As long as Coach Foley's the head coach, that's what's going to happen with this program. And it's worked well. What would winning an Ohio Valley Conference title mean? I mean, the first year in the league, that's never been done except for the first year that the Ohio Valley was formed, that a new team won the league in their first year in it.
Well, I think that it would be a big accomplishment for this team. I mean, they've really worked hard, and like you said, going 3-8 in the non-conference and playing those schools that we play, just bouncing back and coming into the conference season and getting the job done. And it would be a big tribute to them and what they've accomplished.
You also get to go out on the road and recruit. Are you looking for a different type athlete and player than what you looked for before we moved to the Ohio Valley Conference? Now that we've been in it and we've seen it, it appears to me that we are the most athletic team in the league. And is that something that we want to try and keep up and let the others try to catch up to us? Or do we try to adjust to what the other teams in the league are doing?
No, I think we're going to try to recruit the same type of players that we've been recruiting. I mean, if we're going to be a good defensive team, we got to recruit players that can play on the defensive end. So they need to be athletic and need to be able to get the job done there. But I don't think we're going to change, just because we're changing from the Sun Belt to the Ohio Valley and what type of players we're looking for.
How big are the two guards, Jayla Brooks and Jaya Smith, to this team right now? What they mean, not just offensively, but defensively.
Yeah, I mean, they bring a lot to the table. They both are definitely solid defensive players, and I know Jay has had times where she's led us in rebounding and assist, and she's just really coming along. And like you said, it takes players a little bit of time, to learn our defense and things. But those two girls, being their first year, they've really caught on, and it's just, every week I can see them getting better.
And it's not just learn a defense. I mean, you got a 2-3 zone or 1-3-1. We're not going to play that. We're going to play straight man. But it's how to go about getting around screens and when to help and when not to help and when to shade a player a certain way and how you're supposed to use your arms and your body to find where players are, is it not?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we don't play every team the same way. I mean, we're playing, getting over on ball screens different, almost every game. And so they're having to learn different things almost every week. And it's just been a tribute to them on, how they take coaching and how they've responded. And like I said, I've just been very proud of both of those and how they've come along this year.
Well, it's a big week, no doubt about that, for the Little Rock Trojans. And last two home games of the season inside of the Jack Stevens Center. And we don't know how long Coach Foley is going to keep coaching. I mean, this might be it. So I would say get out to the Jack Stevens Center because you don't know this day and age. I thought last year he was done. But lo and behold, he showed up. He's like, no, I'm not done. I'm going to keep coaching. And he's having a heck of a year. And there are a lot of records that still could be set this year. I mean, he could beat his good friend Gary Blair in wins. 852 is what Gary Blair finished with. He's got a chance to beat him at that. He's got a chance to add another 20-win season to his resume. He's got a chance to win another conference title. He's got a chance to win another tournament title and a chance to make it 7 times to the NCAA tournament. And I know we'd love to give Coach all of that.
You bet. And I think we're focused right now. And these girls are knowing it's coming down the stretch, and we just gotta, come in and, like I said, take it one game at a time, and let's see what happens.
It's a focus team, but it's also a very loose team.
Oh, yeah.
They're very loose at times.
They you mentioned it a while ago. They've been really fun to coach. I mean, it's not been a lot of drama with this team. They come into work every day, but you know, they like to have a good time and they get along really well.
Steve Weedor, we'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you, Trey.
Thanks, Coach Weedor. Coach Weed will step aside. Darrell Walker will be up next. It's the Little Rock Coaches Show, live from Dugan's Pub. Welcome back to the corner of 3rd and Rock, Dugan's Pub, Baptist Health, Little Rock Trojan basketball. Broadcasts are always brought to you by Baptist Health. Baptist Health provides the care you need to keep you and your family amazing. For more information, visit baptist-health.com. We're joined by Darrell Walker, Scott Walker, known to some people in these parts, head coach of the Little Rock Trojan men's basketball team. And coach, it was a tough week. It started off great. I was in the chat. Boy, that was a great game against Morehead State. A loud game. A game where you guys came back and you didn't give up a lead at the end.
No,
How about that? You finished that.
basically finished the game. I was told the guys I was really proud of how they had really bounced back and finished that basketball game. I said, but now we got to go on the road and take care of some games on the road. And that Tennessee Martin game was just a disappointing game because we didn't show up.
We'll get to that one a little bit. I want to talk about the good stuff that's going on with Little Rock basketball. And that was the win over Morehead State, who still leads the conference standings. A 72-68 win over Morehead State. You had 5 guys in double figures. All of your starters were in double figures. Myron Gardner, another double-double, 14 and 14. And like you said, you got the lead and you kept it, you expanded on it, and you were able to secure the victory at the free throw line.
Yeah, we executed down the line too, which was good. We haven't been doing that all season. And I thought these young guys really played well. And I told them after the game, you know, you got to take that mentality on the road. I thought we were ready to play from the beginning because I said this is the #1 team in the conference. You can have to manage a mistake. I thought we played good basketball.
Yeah, rebounded. And I know that's a key.
But we've been from the beginning of the year, we're playing so many games on the road, so many other teams at a higher level than us. Our rebounding was at a disadvantage, and now it's about even or we're plus one right now.
Shot the ball well at times, 46.9% in the second half. But the free throw line at the half, I mean, you were 6 of 11 in the first half of the free throw line. I don't know what you told them in the locker room at halftime, but you finished 17 of 23. That means you shot 11 of 12 in that second half.
We're attacking the basket, but they got going to. We kept attacking the basket and was able to step up and make our free throws.
Your biggest lead of the game was 7. You had a 10-0 run in that game. You only led for 7 minutes and 6 seconds, but like I said, at the end of the game, when the clock went 0-0-0, you were on top, and that's all that matters.
Trust me, we've been on the other side a whole bunch of times. So it was. I was happy for the guys. They were happy in the locker room. And I just said, you're the #1 team in this conference. You're a really good basketball team. You just got to figure out how to keep winning games.
And let's say this: the record is what it is. You're 4-10 in conference play, which means you're right there, tied with Lindenwood for the 9th place. The top 8 go. But right above you is Eastern Illinois. They come in this week as well, along with Southern Indiana. They come in Saturday. It starts with Southern Indiana trying to get these 2 wins at home and pay back, like I called it earlier in the season. It's a payback chance.
It's a payback game.
It's a payback because you lost the 2 on the road.
We lost those places. A good game at Southern Indiana. I thought we didn't play well at Eastern Illinois at all. I told my guys today, if you want to go to have an early summer, don't show up these next 2 games. You will be going home. I said, but if you want to go to Evansville and have a chance to win the tournament, you got to take care of home. So we'll see what happens coming Thursday. That'll be coming up pretty soon.
Yes, and one good thing is, let's say you can take care of business here.
Right.
If tiebreakers fall the way they might, that win over Morehead State might hold a lot of weight because the other teams might not beat Morehead State and lose to them twice.
Well, if Morehead can keep that lead, it's still 4 games. I don't know what their lead is, and I don't care what their
They've got a 2-game lead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to Evansville.
What's it going to take on Thursday? I know it's always effort. It's going to take
same way we played against
together.
Same way we played at Morehead State. I thought we held the team to 68 points. Anytime we're between 65 and 70, we're going to have a chance to beat you. When the number starts getting higher, we're in trouble. So I thought defensively we did a really good job. I thought the 2-3 zone really involved them. So we got to come out with another defensive effort.
You forced them into 14 turnovers. You had 6 steals in that game. You blocked 3 of their shots.
We were active.
That's what I saw.
We were active, and they wound up getting 68 points. But I thought we were really defending. I thought the zone was really good. Freeman scored only 2 points in the second half, which was big for us. I thought the zone took him out of it.
He had, I think he had 16 at the half, and only 2 points in the second half. When do you decide to switch to that 2-3? Is it just a feeling? Is it your gut that you go with?
It all depends if we can keep people in front of us, because we struggled this year with keeping good guards and keeping people in front of us and people taking off the dribble too much. So the 2-3 zone kind of level things out, and we can kind of keep people in front of us and make them shoot jump shots.
At times I say you die by the 3 and you live by the 3, and they died by the 3, 5 of 20.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
a big three-point shooting team. We're not a big three-point shooting team because we don't shoot that ball that well from we're decent. So we try to get a lot of twos and points in the paint and get to the free throw line.
You had 3 guys in double figures on the road at UT Martin, but I watched the game on the bus ride back, and as soon as the game was over and you guys got on your bus, I got a text from Tuck. I can't read what the text was from Tuck on the radio show.
He wasn't a happy camper.
But basically, he said our guys didn't show up.
No, we didn't show up at all. I thought it was a horrible effort. Let them know that after the basketball game. I said, "No, you guys really want to go to Evansville? You keep having some more efforts like this, you will not be going to Evansville." So I made that very clear after practice today. These guys have played for me. They've played hard over here. We just haven't finished things out. Our record is what it is, and I would never have from that. But at the end of the day, sometimes it comes down to the players showing up and getting it done.
When you get down by 29 in the second half, what do you tell your guys?
I told them today, teams could go on an 8-0 run, 7-0 run. You should never want a team go on a 20-0 run. I said, because at the end of the day, you should say, okay, we're going to guard you. You can't score. You're not going to go on a big run either. And that's what I watched about Calvin Sampson team. Teams will go on an 8-0 run, a 9-0 run. But they never go on a 15 or 20-0 run. And so Calvin's team will always fight the basketball game.
Do you think that in the game your guys might have got a false sense of what was to come because the way you started the game?
No, I thought they came out playing like the baseball, like the first place team in the conference, in my opinion. And I'm not a big timeout guy, and I called 2 less than a minute apart because I saw what was going on right away and tried to right the ship. But at the end of the day, the players play basketball games.
Yeah. What type of player? I mean, this is your first year going through this league. Do you have to change how you recruit for this league?
This
you
is
still go after the same type of player?
got really good guards in this league, wing players and guards in this league, and we're going to. I've been sitting down with my staff about the guys that we want to bring in for the guard position.
Some shooters?
No, I think we shoot the ball well enough. If we had closed out some of these games that we should have closed out, we wouldn't be talking about our shooting right now, to be honest.
Probably.
That conversation wouldn't be coming up. But we shoot the ball like some teams we had in the past? No, I think we got really good talent for the OVC, and I think our future is bright. The season's not over yet.
Not saying names because you're not allowed to, but what areas of the country are you looking at? I mean, obviously,
We recruit everywhere.
you want to.
Me being around the NBA so long, I've been knowing so many people in professional basketball and college basketball all these years. Coach Baker and I have been doing it for 30 years. I get phone calls from all over the country about take a look at this kid. So we've recruited from everywhere.
What does Coach Baker mean to Little Rock basketball and the staff?
He's been doing it for 30-something years now. He's done it at the University of Colorado. He's done it at Kansas State. And he's done it at some high-level places. And don't forget, he was really good coach, AAU coach, and a prep coach. He did a great job at Shorter. So he's been a head coach before. He's somebody that I can lean on because he's been through it and seen it all.
Coach was Ron Crawford, one of the greats.
That's his guy.
In the state. Rest in peace, Coach Crawford. We were on the bus on the way to.
Crawford would never rest in peace.
He's probably not. Right? He's probably thinking, okay,
I know Ron very well.
I got to dial something up here. What am I going to draw? What play are we going to run? Something like that. He's probably trying to find a way to keep Jackson.
I know Ron very well.
Somewhere too, because I know that was the big deal with Keith Jackson and Coach Crawford when he played for him. That's the football player.
Right.
I know you know who he is.
Yeah,
For
I
those
know Keith
listening,
very well.
Yeah, K-Jack, as we like to call him, Great Porky Patriot. My question is it's more of a statement.
Mm-hmm.
We were on the bus on the way. We were crossing the river, and all of a sudden, Coach Cash looks over. She goes, "We saw on the bus that said Shorter College." She goes, "I didn't know there was a college over there." I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's where Bank started, Cash."
Yeah.
I said, "That's Shorter College."
Big time.
I mean, they were big time.
Yeah.
Coach Bank was bringing them in now.
He's a heck of a recruiter. He did a great job there at Shorter, and of course, that's what he did with the UYL and the AAU team. He did the prep school. So Coach Baker's been a great hire for me.
Your other staff members, no doubt that they are good basketball minds as well.
Yeah, they're young. They're a lot younger than myself and Coach Baker.
But y'all get along so well.
We kids do this hard about being a vegan and Preston's a Memphis Tigers. So it's a good. We're the two old guys and the two young guys.
Is there I mean, it's a good camaraderie.
No, it's a great camaraderie. I'm pretty much. If you talk to those guys, I'm pretty much hands off, easy to work for. I'm not a tyrant. I don't leave guys coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning to look at the walls and leave at 1 o'clock at night. I just think that doesn't make any sense. At the end of the day, the way you recruit now, it's about computers and the telephone.
PI Roofing is your roof leak detective. They serve with professional workmanship, the best prices, the best warranty, and best of all, peace of mind. They're online at PIRoofing.com. Southern Indiana, the Screaming Eagles, as they are known, and you played at Screaming Eagle Arena. It was a brand new facility. I think they opened it
maybe 2 years old.
October of 21.
Yeah, it's brand new.
And now they're coming to the Jack.
They come to the Jack, which is we got a great facility here. So I'm looking forward to the game.
We'll talk more with Darryl Walker after the break. Look forward to the game against Southern Indiana. That game on Thursday at 7:30, and then Eastern Illinois on Saturday at 3:30. We're back with more Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show, live from Dugan's after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to the corner of 3rd and Rock. The 4 Points by Sheraton Little Rock Midtown is the official hotel partner of your Little Rock Trojans. Right now, you can get up to 50% off your freshman tuition and fees. Visit ualr.edu to learn more. If you haven't gone to college, if you'd like to go to college, you can do that for the summer session or next fall. And Simmons Bank is the official sponsor of Little Rock Trojan Women's Athletics. Darryl Walker, Trey Schapp with you. And Coach, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Nope. Not 1 second of it.
You didn't care?
I'm not a football guy. I'm just not a big football guy. I was in college because I was going to watch. Some of my friends played. Gary Anderson who wound up and Benny Walker both wind up playing in the NFL. Billy Ray Smith.
Yeah.
Junior.
Went to San Diego?
Yeah, let's go watch those guys. But I'm not a big football guy. I'm sure everybody in America was watching the game.
Well, let me turn to this then. There was a big happening in basketball last week. LeBron James, now the all-time scoring leader in the NBA, a league which he played in for many years and coached in as well.
I didn't think that record would ever be broken. The records are made to be broken, and this kid has played at a high level since he's 19, 18 years old when he first came in the league. And for him to accomplish that, man, that was just like, I watched the last 8 points that he scored, and I was like, I thought I would never see this.
Yeah.
I thought I would never see this.
Why is that? Because the league's so different now, or?
No, the league is definitely different. Just imagine if the league could have shot some threes along with the Scott. Everything he had was 2 points. And the 3-point line is not that LeBron is a great 3-point shooter, but he has made some. And so those threes, that's 1 point more than those twos that Kareem was shooting. You add that up over the years.
Yes.
That's going to help you.
Yeah, good point. And then also, I think another point, and it's one that I was taught at a young age when I was playing it, if someone comes in the middle of the lane trying to shoot a layup on you, put them on their back.
Those days are over.
And then you figure out if they want to come back in there again, and they don't do that now.
They're not going to do that. Guys are making too much money. Owners don't want their product to be hurt like that. So it's all about entertainment right now. I think it's really good players in the NBA right now, but it's all about entertainment. And every league is different. If you look at the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, it just keeps evolving. It's just different. I don't watch the NBA at all. I'm a college basketball guy. I love watching college basketball. I'll watch the WNBA before I watch the NBA.
Really?
Because I coach in the WNBA as a head coach, so it's these ladies. It's not about athleticism. It's all about skill and picking and
fundamentals.
It's fundamental, and it's beautiful to watch because you don't see that anymore.
And that's why I like college basketball, but I like women's college basketball just as well as I do men's college basketball because of the fundamentals. They're not trying to create a Sports Center top 10 highlight.
They can't. They can't.
Because they can't.
They can't.
Right.
So, but they play the game the right way. They play below the rim. And I was fortunate enough to coach in the WNBA from Washington District. And I really enjoyed that time that I had coaching with those young ladies. It was fun.
When you look at the game, is the game in a good place? The college basketball game right now, is it in a good place?
Yeah, I think it is. College basketball is going to change. I think it's changing a lot toward the NBA. What everybody does in the NBA, you see in college now. It's changed, but it is what it is. I mean, you got the NIL, you got the transfer portal. you just got all types of stuff going on, man.
I know you were not a fan of the transfer portal when it first came about.
I know I had no problem about the kids able to leave because coaches leave all the time. But now it's just, if you get on a player and you say the wrong thing and raise your voice, I'm transferring. So it just makes it difficult. You'd be surprised some of the high-level coaches I've talked to in college about, man, I don't give this guy enough shots. If I raise my voice and I scream at this guy, he's going to leave. And I say, Coach, how do you handle it? I say, I coach the way I've always coached. If I scream, I scream. If I yell, I yell. It is what it is because guys are going to transfer. And let's just be honest. Everybody can't play for Coach Bolton. Everybody can't play for Coach Walker. Everybody can't play for Bobby Knight. Everybody can't play for Coach K. Guys have been transferred. The portal just made it more easier to do.
Right.
It's always been there.
Without any really repercussions.
Exactly. Without any
Because you don't have to sit out.
Exactly.
I mean, you're eligible next season.
Next season.
With that being said, you have to have that conversation on the front end with them. Look, guys, I'm going to coach you hard.
Oh, I tell my guys all that. I'm never going to change who I am as a coach. And if I was such a bad guy, I wouldn't be in a group chat for the last 5 years with all my guys at Clark Atlanta University, where I got in there working very hard and working very hard. We are a constant group chat. When I come to Atlanta, everybody's in Atlanta. We all get together at the hotel and we can eat and have a good time. And we appreciate you come in my office, you see I got jerseys from guys from Clark Atlanta about what I've done for them in their career and off the field. So I'm gonna coach who I'm gonna coach who I am.
Is it one of those things where when you step on the court, that's my time, and you're going to do what I say, we're going to coach you hard, we're going to play hard, but then off of it, you're there, you want to have fun as well?
Coach Foley will tell you, being a coach at the pro level, the college level, it's not as easy as people think. You can sit in the stands and say you should have did this, you should have done that, but they don't have a clue what goes on to the daily grind of dealing with, because you're dealing with somebody's child. You're dealing with somebody's child, and you want to treat them the right way, like you want somebody to treat your child if you're going to play for a coach. So, like I said, when you come to my office and see those jerseys from my players from Clark Atlanta on my wall, signs, beautiful things they've written to me, and the group text that we're always in. Two of my players was at the San Francisco game when we played the University of San Francisco. So they came back and laughing and joking. So my style is my style, and I'm not changing. I am who I am.
And those relationships will last a lifetime.
Yes, they will. They will. That means I did the right thing, and I held them accountable for all the things.
When you look at Coach Foley, and he won his 849th game on Saturday, he's won 850 on Thursday night at the Jack Stevens Center. Being able to see him build his program and work with his ladies, have you learned anything from him?
I got similar personalities, and we both kind of two old school guys, and I watch out. We kind of do the same things. I would walk in his office sometimes, and he'll have a computer on, and no coaches, and he'll just in there getting ready to do the scout report. But that's the same thing that I do. He'll walk in my office and say, "What are you doing, coach?" I said, "The same thing you doing, trying to figure it out."
Yeah, trying to figure out a way to win another.
Well, he's figured it out 849 times.
Hopefully it's 850 and hopefully
he's figured it
850
out.
more.
Yeah, he's had a Hall of Fame career.
Well,
We have Coach Foley and I have a great working relationship, man. We really do.
there is a push, I know, from some within the Little Rock community to get him into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, which I think he richly deserves.
Yeah, but it's so political.
It is.
You would think that Coach Sutton would have to wait till his deathbed
Exactly.
to get into
I
the
mean,
Hall
how
of Fame.
political was that?
I mean, Coach, but, the bar used to be 800.
Yeah.
The bar used to be 800. I don't know. Nobody knows what the bar is
They keep
anymore.
moving it.
Nobody knows what the bar is.
Coach,
Nobody knows what it is.
Good luck this
Thank
week.
you. Thank
That's
you so
Daryl
much.
Walker,
Thank you.
head basketball coach of the Little Rock Trojans. They play on Thursday and Saturday. The Little Rock women, Thursday and Saturday as well. First game 5 on Thursday, first game 1 o'clock on Saturday. Have a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you at the Jack Stevens Center.